Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you 5 best mobility exercises for beginners that you can start doing today. These moves are simple and safe and are designed to help your joints move freely without pain, without equipment, and without spending hours stretching. You don't have to be flexible to start, you just have to start. So let's get into it. So the first mobility exercise we're gonna start with is heel rises. And we're gonna do the alternating leg. We're gonna stand nice and tall, making sure that throughout all the exercises you keep your posture nice and straight, you keep your neck tall, making sure that your core is engaged and that your lower back is not bending. And once you're doing this, you can start by holding onto the wall or the chair, and then you're gonna lift the heel of one foot up as high as you can, stretching your foot slightly. So it depends how flexible your foot is. Just try to do little lifts with one leg and then a few lifts with another leg. And essentially you want to put your arms, as I said, you can hold onto something or you can put your hands on your waist, and you're gonna lift one heel up, and then you're going to switch the legs and then switch back again. And you want to do between 10 to 20 repetitions of this exercise. This exercise will train your calves, ankles, foot mobility and flexibility, as well as balance and core control. So it is a really great exercise to start with. If you hear some popping and cracking sounds in your knee joints, this is absolutely fine as long as it doesn't cause you any pain. You can repeat this exercise daily and it could be your daily routine. The next exercise is called hip circles. For hip circles, you're gonna stand nice and tall and you're gonna put your legs a bit wider than your shoulders. You're gonna put your hands on your waist and you're going to shift your hips first to the left side and then just shift them back to the right side. So for now, we're just gonna concentrate on this hip shifts. The knees are slightly bent, so try with me. To the right, and then to the left, to the right. Try to go as far to the side as you can, feeling a nice stretch in your outer hip. Once you're comfortable doing this exercise, now we're gonna try and do the hip full circle. So shift your hips to one side, and then you want to move your hips all the way back. So you will create this hip hinge position and you're leaning slightly forward, remembering to keep your core braced and your lower back neutral so it's not bending too much. And then from here, shift your hips to the right, and then you're gonna tuck your pelvis in, bring your hips forward, and I'm leaning here to the back a little bit. When you do this movement faster, it's gonna come a little bit more natural to you. But take your time learning this move. This is a great move because it's gonna loosen up the hip joints, the hip flexors, tight glutes, tight adductors, abductors. You want to do 5 circles to your left side, and now we're gonna do circles starting the right side. So again, shift your hips to the right side, and then bend your knees and bring your hips back so you create this hip hinge position, and you're leaning forward a little bit, and then bring them to your left, and then tuck in your pelvis in, roll it in. You will create a little upper back curve here when I am shifting my pelvis, rolling my pelvis in, but this will create a really nice stretch at the front of your hip. We call this muscle hip flexor. This is a quite controlled move, really focusing on each muscle and the sensation that you get, the stretch, perhaps some discomfort, perhaps one hip has a more limited range of motion than the other, so you can take notes of this. Exercise number 3 is shoulder rolls. So for shoulder rolls, again, you're gonna stand with your feet shoulder length wide, standing nice and tall, and your chin is tucked and your shoulders are open. So you're gonna do the whole wide circle with your shoulder. Let's concentrate on one shoulder at a time. Forward, up, back, squeeze your shoulder blade, and down. And now we're gonna start backwards, back and up, forward and down, and again. Again, this is a great move, especially if you have a desk job, you drive a lot, you sit a lot, or you're a mother, you carry your child a lot. For everyone who has a slightly slouched posture and rounded shoulders. Let's try with the other arm. And backwards. And essentially, you want to do this with both of your shoulders. This exercise also could be done seated on the chair. Remembering to breathe, and when you bring your shoulders back, you want to squeeze your shoulder blades so they are going towards your spine. Exercise number 4. So for this exercise, we will be on all fours. This is a classic exercise. It's called cat-cow. Cat-cow is a really fantastic exercise for spine mobility, for shoulder mobility. It will also stretch your abs. So for everyone, again, who is sitting a lot, who has a desk job, who drives a lot, this is a mass exercise that you can do several times per day. Anytime you feel stiffness in your upper or lower back, great for those that have a slouched posture. So the starting position is on all fours. If you have painful knees, you can put some cushions or some towels or blankets under your knees. Okay, so what we're gonna start with, we're gonna bend the lower back like this. You're bending your lower back. Your hips are coming up towards the ceiling. And when you bend your lower back, you want to also bring your chin up. In a slow motion, you slowly come out of this position by moving your hips and your pelvis. You're tucking, you're rolling your pelvis in by squeezing your core and bringing your chin towards your chest. And then try to push your shoulders a little bit more up by rounding them. When you bring your shoulders up, you will feel a nice stretch in your shoulder blades. They are stretching apart and you will feel a really nice sensation there. And then from here again, you slowly bend your lower back, bring your chin up towards the ceiling. Stay here for a few seconds, really feeling a nice stretch. Pushing as much as you can, and then slowly roll your pelvis in, roll your chin towards your chest, round your upper back, round your shoulders, lift your upper back, feel the stretch in your shoulder blades. Stay here for a couple of seconds and repeat. You want to do this move quite slowly again, so you do this correctly and you really feel the stretching sensation in every muscle work. Remembering to also to work with your core when you bring your pelvis in. And exercise number 5. For exercise number 5, you want to sit. You can sit by the wall, so you have a nice support for your back. You want to sit in the upright position, making sure that your posture is nice and straight and your neck is long and your core is braced and holding you in this position. You can also put your arms here on the side of your hips. You want to bend your knees, and then from this position you're gonna slowly bring one knee down towards the floor as much as you can, working with your own range of motion, and then hold it here for 1 to 2 seconds and bring that knee up. So this is a beginner variation of butterfly stretch. You're working on your hip mobility, on your adductor flexibility and strength. You want to do 10 to 12 repetitions. You can do 2 to 3 sets and then change the leg. And then once you progress, you can do both legs simultaneously, or you can move onto the 90-90 hip switches. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed these 5 beginner mobility exercises. Let me know what other subjects you want to see on my channel. If you like this video, share it with your friends and family and subscribe if you haven't already.